Hey, happy Monday again. Um, I was going through some old notebooks and trying to declutter. It is the first part of the year, and isn't that what so many of us are doing, right? Is decluttering. And um, I was looking through some of my notes, and there was a quote that I absolutely loved. I wrote it down actually in my um, in my planner for the week. I have a section called Quote of the Week. And so when I run across these quotes, I'm kind of using them as, fuel, as something like a conversation starter, those types of things, right? Um, when I run across somebody that might need a little bit of a pick me up or maybe, kind of a boost forward, some encouragement, I can refer back to these, quote of the week notes. And one that I wrote down for last week was, when you create the structure, you create the freedom. And that was by Taylor Symmank. I might have pronounced his name wrong, but he was a kicker for the Minnesota Vikings for a while. Owns multiple businesses, just a real down to earth, upstanding guy. And I just really appreciated that quote. When you create the structure, you create the freedom. And I thought, how freaking true is that? And that can apply to so many areas of life: money, relationships, business, health, like everything, right? Organization. And it really got me thinking of, where can I create, I don't necessarily even want to use the word better, but where can I create structure that it isn't previously present? Where can I change the structure of a system, or where can I change structure in my life so that I get closer to what goals I'm working on and what goals that I want to reach, right? And because, freedom is the ultimate thing, right? Freedom is what I believe most of us are chasing. Freedom in so many areas, right? Freedom of location, freedom of time, freedom of money, right? There's so many freedoms that we're chasing. So where can I create or implement structure? And I ask you that same question. Where can you create structure so it gets you closer to the freedom that you most want to experience? Right? Think about that for a second. And then I don't want you to even end there. I would love for you to even take it a step further, right? Make notes. What's the first couple of things that come to mind? For most of the people that I work with, it is their finances and it is their relationships. Third being generally is health, right? Really starting to create some structure. The feeling of chaos is really present in a lot of people's lives. The feeling of burnout, right, is present for so many people. And, I believe that when we have maybe a structure that's aligned with our goals, we maybe have more of an ability to fend off the overwhelm, fend off the burnout, fend off the chaos, because we've got our structure in place, right? I always say it's like the fallback, right? When life is nuts, you fall back on your systems and your structure, right? So, they're really built to eliminate that chaos and that overwhelm and such. And so I just encourage you to think about this for a second. Think about this quote. What resonates? What's the first thing that comes to mind for you? And then start making note. Write it down. It doesn't mean you change everything right away, but when you allow yourself to fully process what it means for you in your life, when you give yourself the ability or the opportunity to not just hear it, but to make notes about it, you might be really surprised at what the universe sends your way, right? It might send you a book, a course, a video, a person, to talk with that could very much help you on that journey. Right? So make this the year that you just open your heart and open your mind to new opportunities, and you give yourself the gift of, creating structure in areas that maybe it didn't previously exist. So, all right, I'm going to leave you with that today. I hope you have a fabulous week ahead, my friend, and I will see you next Monday. All right, bye for now.